And today we're speaking to Tina Taylor, and we're in her beautiful new office, which as well as her having the office in Harley Street, she's now expanding to an office in Surrey too. Hi Tina.
Hi Nadia, it's good to see you again.
You too, you're amazing. I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you.
So first of all, I kind of thought it would be great for the audience that don't yet know you, or even people that do know you on a professional level, just to kind of get to know you a little bit personally.
Okay.
Is that okay?
What's going on?
Yeah.
And she returned 7 days later.
Yeah.
And as she walked in the door, I thought, who is that person? And I looked at her. It's just everything about her was different. You know, she was vibrant. She was alive.
Yeah.
And I mean, we would go on vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, we would, in the investment banking industry in the UK, possibly in the US and other places in the world, they insist that you have like a break of a specific length of time so that people can make sure that you're not doing anything you shouldn't.
It's stressful as well, isn't it? Yeah.
And we would go and we'd have our vacation, our holiday break, and we'd come back and we'd still walk through the door and go, oh.
Yeah.
Because you'd see the big pile of stuff on the desk.
Nobody's done it. Well, no. That's the worry of going on holiday when you have a corporate lifestyle, isn't it? You come back to the work and it's just all piled up and more stress.
And she walked in and she had a spring in her step.
Oh, wow.
And she was smiling and her desk was opposite mine and she kind of sat down and there's piles and piles
bouncing
of stuff
around.
and she's bouncing and she's on her computer and she's getting through. No, she didn't care. And I sat there and I thought,
groundbreaking.
I want what she's got.
Yeah.
And I even said, look, Jo, whatever you're on, I want it. What is it? Where do I get it? Where do I buy it? What do I do?
Yeah.
And she said, I've been on this amazing course.
Oh, wow.
And she wouldn't tell me very much about it. She said that she'd done this course with a guy called Dr. Richard Bandler, somebody I'd never heard of.
Wow.
With a guy called Paul McKenna, who I had heard of because he had a TV show in England. And a guy called Michael Breen.
What was the show about?
His TV show, because he used to do a stage hypnosis show, which was phenomenal. And his TV show in England of that time was like his stage hypnosis show.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen bits of it. Yeah.
You'd have people being washing machines and other various kitchen appliances. And it was hilarious. And my daughter loved him and loved the show. Yeah. And the other trainer was Michael Breen. I'd never heard of him. Yeah. So I rang up to book on this course and I said, I feel a bit weird because I've no idea what NLP is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here I am willing to give you my money to do this course.
Yeah.
And the woman on the end of the phone said, just come with an open mind.
Yeah.
And I went, okay. So I turned up on the first day and I sat there and I remember thinking, whoa.
Yeah.
There were all these promises. Yeah. There were all these promises. By the end of day one, they were going to change my life. I was going to get rid of all my fears and anxieties and the phobias I had.
Yeah.
And I went through the whole process. And day 6, they called Phobia Day. And they said, bring your fears and phobias to Phobia Day.
Yeah, because before NLP, nobody much talks about phobias, do they? As if it's something that hardly anybody has, you know.
Now, this was the day when I was really sceptical. I had a huge phobia of spiders.
Oh, right.
And I thought, yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what you can do with this.
Yeah.
And I sat in the front row.
Oh, Tina, you were brave.
And I thought, bring it on. What can you do with this?
Oh, you're good, yeah.
And it was Paul McKenna and Michael Breen, and they were going to take away this spider phobia. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, this is... And then suddenly there's a guy walking in the room with a tarantula in a cage.
Oh, no.
And the closer he got, the more freaked I got.
And probably a lot of other people too.
Oh, loads.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about them. They disappeared.
Yeah.
They didn't exist.
Right.
There was just me and the spider.
And time stood still, I bet.
And then I freaked and I actually completely panicked and I ran on the stage.
Yeah.
And Paul grabbed me and I can
Isn't
remember
that
him.
ironic that you ran on the stage?
And Paul McKenna grabbed me and he said to the audience, this is a perfect example of a flaming phobia.
Oh, wow.
And I was going,
yeah.
And within I don't know, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
I can remember standing there, and there's a guy called Glenn who had this tarantula.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the spider.
Yeah.
Thinking, this is surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Glenn
I
said,
can imagine.
do you want to hold it?
Yeah.
And I went, sure. And the little voice in my head's going, did I say that?
Isn't that
Was
weird?
that me?
Isn't that fantastic?
And I put my hand down, and the spider hesitated. It didn't want to walk on me. Now, the whole thing about this phobia that I had was that the spider was going to run across the room at me.
Yeah. Mm.
And here I am with this huge thing.
Yeah.
And it's hesitating.
Wow.
It's not sure about me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that had never entered.
Right, of course not. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Wow. And I held the spider.
Mm.
And that was it for me, really. I just thought,
Isn't that fantastic?
no, I need more.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm so glad you shared that, because when doing the fast phobia cure for somebody else, you know, it's nice to hear what it actually feels like when you're going through it, you know.
Yeah.
Suddenly now you realise, you know, the spider's not going to attack me. The spider has its own fears as well, and you know, it's just really interesting.
Yeah, I just hadn't thought about it, and I've seen it so many times over the years.
Yeah.
Other people, when the spider's like, oh, actually, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Right.
And I've actually learnt quite a lot about spiders, which is also
Have
weird.
you? Yeah. Why? Is it a hobby of yours?
No, not quite.
Yeah.
But after I did all my training, I was asked by Paul McKenna's company if I would go and assist on the courses in London. So I've turned up.
Isn't it incredible to be like a participant in this amazing guy, Paul McKenna's training, to become his head training assistant? Is that right?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
I am his head training assistant at the moment, yes.
That's a big leap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us your
I didn't
journey.
get that straight away.
Yeah, tell us the little parts.
It was little jumps. Yeah. It was like baby steps. So,
but it's still amazing.
Yeah.
If we think of it that way, what you can do when you believe in any possibilities.
Well, because from a practitioner, I wanted more. I was hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I was hungry for knowledge. And something else happened on the practitioner. When I was younger, I was one of those people, one of those students that people envy.
Yeah.
Because I could just pass
Tina
exam after exam
Could
after
you, Tina?
exam.
Yeah.
I never studied.
Oh, wow.
I just sat in the class,
people would.
soaked it up, read a couple of books, wrote whatever papers were needed, aced the exam. But I got bored, so I was also naughty.
Yeah, curious.
And then they didn't know what to do with me, because I was like head of the class and the bad girl.
Yes, yeah.
And
bit
gradually,
intimidating to everybody.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and gradually, I thought over time, I actually began to say, I used to have a good memory, but now I don't have a good memory anymore. And I kept forgetting things. And on the practitioner, I remember listening to Richard, and he was saying that everybody has a photographic memory, and everything we experience is stored away.
Right.
And I thought, I used to have one of those. Maybe it's still there.
Isn't that fantastic?
And it was. So suddenly I've got my memory back.
Yeah.
Because I just wasn't using it.
All in the 7 days?
It's 7 days.
Fantastic.
And now I'm thirsty for knowledge.
I mean, because if you say it to somebody who doesn't know anything about NLP, they might think, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Think,
maybe your friend kind of thought that, do you think?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went off to live her dream, because she had a dream that she never felt she could do.
Yeah.
She wanted to live in the US.
Oh, fantastic.
And she didn't have any higher education.
Yeah.
So she didn't know how she could get her green card.
Yeah.
And what she did, she sold her apartment here in the UK.
Yeah.
And she went to Boston and she took a degree.
Isn't that? Oh, that's amazing.
She went back to school.
I love it.
But before she could do that, she had to pass whatever the high school exams people in the US pass. So she had to go to classes to learn about American history and literature.
Yeah.
And she had to pass these exams, and she got a scholarship, and she went to Lesley at Boston.